Hello everyone, welcome to this session. Our chapter is web development, and we're still discussing about the table styles. So far in our previous session, we saw these various styling HTML tables, that is adding the CS, that is the cascading style sheets. So far we've seen how you can add them using the header, whereby within the header you insert these various styles, which you will be able to use them for the table which you are trying to create. So in this session we will see the activity, but we also discuss these various kinds or ways of adding these CSS, that is this adding the cascading style sheets. We've seen in the internal, external, and also we've seen within the header. So we've seen the header, we've seen how you can add these styles within the header with the activity. So in this session we'll see this activity, but specifically we'll try to see how you can add this CSS inline. So inline CSS. So basically, what we discussed, we said that these are just CSS styles that are written directly inside the HTML tag using the style attribute. So we'll see the simple activity which I've tried to create so that you can understand this inside the CSS, this kind of styling HTML tables. So let's see our notepad. Here's our notepad, and we've created this kind of a HTML document. We've seen that how you can create, basically how you can create a table. Now, specifically talking about adding inside the HTML tags, this kind of a way we'll see here. For example, within this document, as normal opening of the course, the HTML open and close, then the header tag open and close, then the title is my table, and after that the body style, I've added this kind of style. So this one is the first one whereby you add these kinds of styles within the tag. So the body style, I've just added the background color. I think we saw this one even previously. Adding background color, put here light blue, you can put any color you want. Uh, then I've just added this other thing, that is the table style. Now this is, I've added this style also within the table. So within this HTML table tag, so the table will contain the style, that is the width 100%, the border collapse, it will be collapsed. We've discussed the kinds of the borders in our previous session. Then the border, it will be 2 pixels, solid black. So we've added these kinds of size. These are crucial for the table, but we've added them within this kind of a table tag. So moving on, this is just a simple header, whereby header I've tried to bold it, and the underline. Also, so this is the timetable, the subject covered. It's just the like the previous one. Underline, bold, and the heading as the first one. Then there is this comment, that is the table header row, whereby also I've added these tags within the tags. Or I've added these ties within the tags. So it's kind of different from the previous one where we added these various ties specifically to the header of this table. Just all of the details were just inserted at the header. So the details were just between this before starting the header of the table. Then we inserted the table styles and everything at the header here. Now, so here we basically see that I've added these specifications, and we said that these specifications for the various codes or tags for the each of these, for example, the table row and data, these tags will just be specifically added to a single entry of the data which you are trying to put. So it's different from the previous one. The previous one we added at the header, and that one was very important, and it's very easily used, especially for when you are creating these long tables. You cannot like insert the details for every tab. So this is just for a simple, maybe for a simple table that contains few of the details. So I've just added, like, for example, for the table header row, this is the comment. So this is the comment to indicate the table header row. For the first row, the background color, I've just added for this specific tag of the first table header role. Then in the table heading, also with this specification, the style padding 10 pixels, border 1 pixel solid black. Then the heading with H2 style, that is the color is just blue, text align at the center. So that is for the for this first header. Then for the second header, so if you see all the details in these tags, you find out that they are all like inserted specifically for every tag. You see here there are these conditions. So if you alter any kind of a condition or a kind of a style for just one, for example, if we are it's just 10. If you change it to another one, you will just see there's difference applied to the this kind of one detail. That is, for example, a weekday. So the same goes. I've done this for the serial number, the weekday, and the subject as the table headings. Then after that, I moved on to the first row, the second row, the third row, and the fourth and the fifth row. I've just inserted these kind of styles all specifically for every tag within. So, for example, the table row and the table data, I've just inserted the details specifically for every tag. So that's how you can put this inside the tags. So this is the one way of adding these various styles CSS within the HTML tags. So of the clear, so I've closed up the table, the bodies, and therefore the HTML. Then I've saved the document.html. Now viewing this one, we'll try to see how it looks like within our web page. In our web page, it will look like this one. So this is how it looks like. As I said before, if you want to see the course, you can try to use this shortcut Control plus U. That will just try to show all the courses that you've created within your Notepad plus plus or just your Notepad. So here are the courses, and specifically these are the courses. You cannot edit this course, but you can just view them when you are trying to view them in your website or just in your web page. So these are the details, and this is the table. These are the tags, and this is the table as you can see it. So of the clear. So for example, I'll try to make a simple illustration of maybe trying to change one or two of the details and see what happens. So for example, when I go back to a notepad, maybe I try to alter maybe, for example, the maybe this one, uh, the first row, the first data row. For example, I change, for example, I move this center as this center gets applied for this specifically this for number one. So if I remove this center and I save it, then if I go back to our web page, if I refresh the page, you find that the specific entry that I've removed, that is the center after removing it. So this, for example, this number one, it has just gone back to default, that is to the left-hand side. So that can be applied for every kind of details that you have inserted specifically for every HTML tag. So you can try this for every detail that you want to alter within your various tags or within your various codes. So just to see them in your HTML document. So that's how it is. For example, I can also alter maybe the background color, maybe change it to instead of light blue, then change it then maybe to just blue. I control save it. Control S, I mean. Then if I refresh, then here is how it is. So these are just specifically the details that I can alter for the specific codes. Now that's just general for the table, but moving back, maybe you can try anything you want, any kind of changes which you can try to apply to your table. For example, uh, the text align here, for example, this header, maybe instead of text aligning it at the center, I can put it maybe at the right hand side. If I try at right, if I control S, if I save it, if I go back, if I refresh, you find it has been changed from the center to the right. So that's how you can change these kinds of stuff. Uh, the other thing, you can even alter these paddings. For example, instead of 10, I can just put 40. And when I save it, when I go back, when I refresh, you will find things have changed there. So this one is just changes that you can apply. So you can go through every tags and you can create your own table and have it change various styles for these CSS styles for your table, and your table can look like it can look nice within your web page. So uh, so that's all I have for this session. We've discussed the inside CSS, the cascading style sheets, these CSS styles that are written directly inside an HTML tag using these the various style attributes. So that's all I have for this session. Thank you for listening, guys. So in our next session, we move on to the other method of inserting these CSS styles. Specifically, we'll try to see how you can insert them from the external details of the tags. So we'll see how it looks like. So that's all I have for this session, and thank you.